Last day to get ready in our attempt to win $100,000. Hell yeah, plans have changed for the better. We are actually going to, for sure, pull out tonight, it looks like. And that's good because we were planning on parking tomorrow, which would be Thursday, at the event, probably around 6 to 8 p.m. But I actually just got an email from the organizational staff of this race saying that parking will only be available tomorrow from 11 to 5. So let's see. Yep. Thursday, 11 to 5. And they updated the racer packets and crew packets to reflect 2025. So they got their ducks in a row and they are ready for this massive amount of people to come barge the door down. I heard that little gangsters ended up putting a car count limit on their classes. I don't know what the limit is. I'm gonna guess 64. So that's a lot of races too. Went through rain lash again, and I missed 3 push rods. So I've got offset intake lifters, and the push rod tube to see down in there is kind of hard on the corner ones because they're a real small hole in the head, and there's just enough room for the push rod to land on the outside of the dimple for the push rod seat. So my bad. I haven't fired it up yet this morning. So I did this, but I thought we would do it together. I got to put on my hearing protection though, so one moment please. Put you in the motor here for a second. ProCharger Life told me to protect my hearing. So that is what I try to do. Okay, see if it goes this time. Cold start seems to kind of suck still. Quick, somebody open a window. Ugh. Okay, well, number 2 is a little slow to warm up, which is normal. That's our weakest hole in the motor. Always has been with the big block. And then it looks like number 1 EGT is wigging out pretty dang good. So I do have extra probes, so I'm going to double check the connection on that one, and probably toss a new probe into number 1. But other than that, everything sounds pretty good. I did put a little quick air in the chamber to make sure I didn't bend any valves, since we tried to run it with the push rod over. So that all looked good too. Yeah, I think that's it for right this moment. I'm going to pick up the rack here a little bit so I can roll the car out of the way, and I want to put it on the dyno and just make some NA sweeps to make sure to seat the ring, stuff like that. So I kind of like I mean, I'll have my shop vac on it and stuff to kind of help suck the rings out, make some crankcase vacuum, and then I'll do some engine braking and kind of up and down a little bit, and then I'll do a sweep and then let it coast down, engine braking gear. So all that crankcase, or all that manifold and cylinder vacuum, I feel like suck the rings out really nice and help seat them really well. So, and the type of ring this is, it likes to be loaded pretty fast. So this isn't your breaking in over 500 mile kind of ring. So so far blow by has been eliminated from what I can see, because this sucker was starting to have as much crankcase blow by as if it was on methanol. Meaning that we had a lot of moisture in the crankcase, and as oil temp came up, it would, you know, go out the back. So that that's looking pretty good. So I'm pretty excited there. Hopefully the motor's nice and healthy. I'll have to look up dyno numbers from the last time we ran this thing on motor. Actually, I wonder if I can do that real quick. Okay. Goodness. Yeah, it did not make a whole lot of power with the blower, or with the turbo cam. Granted, the turbo cam is what we went our fastest mile per hour with so far, but it was also the best surface we've had the compressed air on by far. Okay, let's take that one off. All right, so if we look at turbo camshaft versus ProCharger camshaft, turbo camshaft we did tune on the Renegade 120, and the blower camshaft on the dyno was on M1. So I must not have put it back on the dyno for the race gas. I think I just tossed race gas in it and went racing. Why not? Or did I do the LS swap? I may have just thrown the LS in it, put on race gas, and then went. That may have been what we did. And then we did the March Madness racing, where we went to Digger Die and Florida, and then Orlando, Florida. Okay, so we'll get the car over here on race gas with the blower camshaft in it, with brand new valve springs, brand new rods, brand new rings. So hopefully we can take this 565 and bump it up more. What do you think? You think alcohol makes more power? NA to NA? I know there's benefits to alcohol NA to NA. But I think that, I don't know, I think race gas is still pretty good fuel. I like race gas. Really digging it. This is the first time I've ever had a car that, you know, I competed with race gas. And I'm really liking it. Talking to my Renegade rep, his upper levels are saying that I need to switch the car over to the Ratman fuel. So it's got some oxygenators in there, makes some more power. And really the barrel cost of it's not that bad, not that much different. So I might do that. Thought about hitting them up and getting 5 gallons for this weekend, you know, just put a little extra punch in the step right there, you know, just a little more boof. Anyways, I better get to busy. I better get this all picked up and get over here and break this sucker in. Let's see if we can make some power. Let's hope we can at least make this 560 number right here. So If we can make that number, that'll be a good day. So both camshafts, as we had boost, they always move the peak power band up higher. And that poor turbo cam, when we were at Shady Side, that sucker, we were buzzing that motor 84 to 8600 going through the traps. And that was with the 370 gear, lock up on, 28-inch tire. And now we're gonna be back on my 389 that I really like. It always gives us the best short time. We were really we were hoping that we could find a good combination with 370 right off the bat. But every time we ran the 370 with the Pro Charger, we kind of had similar results. We had pretty soft front half, but with the Pro Charger, if we locked it up, it would pull it out of boost so bad that we would lose 15, 20 miles per hour on average running a 370 gear versus 389, just because we couldn't keep the average RPM high enough. With the turbo, it really liked the 370 in a lot of ways. It didn't 60 foot as hard. With the turbo, where we could like go a pretty wild, like 115 to 117 60 foot every pass. With the 370, it was like a 120, 122. And if we try to get too much more aggressive than that, then we would have to abort the run. With the compressed air system, it's been able to consistently run in the high teens with 370, but I don't want to be in the high teens. I want to be in the bottom teens. I want to be in that 10 range, you know, that O. So we've been there really close. I mean, yeah, we've been 112 with the compressed air. Like to see it a little quicker. So we went 110 with the Pro Charger. We went 112 with the compressed air. Pro Charger averaged 13 to 15, and the compressed air did pretty good. You know, that's talking big block numbers. LS doesn't count. LS has got that. It's got that huge weight advantage. So that sucker, it just prints out dumb 60 foot times. It's so much fun. I'm really excited to put that Texas Speed 427 back in, because it does just 60 foot like a monster, just effortlessly. I mean, that thing, we put 100 pounds on the nose, because we hadn't figured out our biasing yet with that motor, what it likes. But we changed crank centerline stuff. We changed front nose cone height by 7 inches. Yeah, we changed crank centerline by about 1 inch. Nose cone total height changes over 8 inches. And all of that's adding up to minimal run into wheelies. So everything's staying down. And if that's the case with the LS, we'll be able to take off this 75 to 100 pounds of nose weight. And we've made some other weight positions on the car now to change center of gravity and height and everything else that we need. So excited to run the LS again, because that thing is so close. We took it to Flying H, which is about an hour away from us. We took it there before Lake Cumberland this spring, and first run, it was insane. And that was our first like actual track pass with it, not back of the track crap. And I made a tweak to it to try to like push it to big block 330 numbers, and G wise it was exceeding it every time we weren't in the air. But every time we tip up in the air, we scrub some numbers off, and we weren't able to get the ET number. But we only made 2 passes. We made the first one I was super ecstatic with, and we made another one that made me really want to go back for more and try it again. But other than like a small, well, I mean, there is a large mile per hour difference between the 2 combos. I feel that the big block will undoubtedly have 20-ish mile per hour on decent to great tracks. But I think on the, you know, really challenging tracks like War in the Woods, you know, Brown County Dragway, or like Yellow Belly, stuff like that. I think the big block may only be able to muster about 4 to 5 more mile per hour over the LS. But I think we can get the LS to the finish line quicker due to how much more aggressively it front halves. So ET is what wins races, not just mile per hour, obviously, you know, or we would have won Shady Side, or we would have gone further in Shady Side. You know, we had one of the top mile per hours of Shady Side. But obviously, if you can't make it work fast enough to the middle, you're going to be behind, and it's hard to chase somebody down when you're going that freaking fast. So obviously, I mean, that's what Larson did to us. He just drove right on out of our life, just and ooh, that was brutal. So we will hopefully see some improvements this weekend. I'm pretty excited. I'm hopeful. I'm excited. I'm ready. I'm pumped. I'm jacked. Ready to do this. So, all right. Well, I better stop jacking and get some stuff done and get the car here on the roller and make some freaking noise and wake all the neighbors up. It's like 7 in the morning right now. All right, everybody's favorite sound, the vacuum cleaner on the dyno. Sorry. We get logged in here real quick on the laptop and roll this thing in real quick. Get the rear end all warmed up, and then we'll start, we'll make some mid-A pulls. Well, my new monitor already lost its signal, and I haven't even gotten to the throttle hard yet. Oops. This car is so hard on monitors right there. Okay. Well, I gotta let the motor cool back down. You see the yellow right here, that's our coolant temp. And that is the surface temp sensor on the cylinder head. So since we don't have water in the head, I run a surface temp sensor, and it measures temperature on the back of the head. So when we actually don't monitor the water temperature at all, it's going to the block, because it's undoubtedly going to be cooler than everything else. So we watch oil temp and we watch coolant temp. So right now we're going to have to let it sit for a few minutes and let it cool everything back down, and then I'll make a run and we'll see how it does, and then we'll make an adjustment from there. Turn it off and back on again. See if the light's off this time. I think I know what's wrong with it. Ain't got no gas in it. Hey, guess what? It didn't have no gas in it. Undo change, do to more on. Number one things to bring to the dyno. Make sure the car's got gas in it. Make sure the battery works. After that, no misfires. Obvious misfires. Mechanical fuel pump light. First run, super disappointing. 504 horsepower. Yeah, it's like down 80 horsepower across the whole curve. pull the log, see what's going on. Okay, so I put a new set of plugs in it. And I noticed my fuel pressure sensor readings were kind of wigging out, but they look to be actual because air, fuel, and duty cycle are not wavering at all when the fuel pressure goes up. So I've seen it's like some 50 to 80 PSI spikes. And we never have with this fuel system before, so I think the sensor's just getting old. So it's a couple seasons old. Spark plugs were from the Roswell race, so we just kind of reused them to save money because it's, you know, $5 a plug right now. Now we got the tune pretty roughed in, or should be pretty close actually. I put a fresh set in it, and hopefully that's where like 60 of my horsepower is. And it comes back online. So if not, I've got a pretty busy day. So whatever I don't get done this morning, I'm gonna have to like stay after work and get figured out and trying to leave tonight. So, okay, well, anyways, positive. Let's see if this fixes it. Yay. Nope, that didn't do it. So I did, since I went to the Jezreel belt drive, on the RCD setup we were using the cam sync in the front cover because it was a really nice clean setup and it worked really well. And I felt that it was helpful. Right now we're using the MSD cam sync in the back of the intake manifold because the first cam sync I ordered for the front was labeled Big Block Chevy on the title on Summit, but in the description was labeled Ford and it didn't fit. So the Chevy one's supposed to be here later today. What I've seen with the MSD one is instead of being a pretty exact, you know, within 4 to 5 degrees of accuracy on like repeating on trigger window, I've seen like a 45 to 100 degree spread. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in untimed sequence and we're going to turn off the cam sync. And when you do this, it adds a little, or it needs a little bit more fuel. I'm going to add just a little bit here. Okay. And we will see if this is part of the problem. And if it is, cool. Hopefully later today I'll have the part I need and I can get it installed and move forward. But if not, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, something's not right. So. Yeah. Okay, alright, careful. can't read my little monitor, so I can use my phone camera to zoom in and look at it. Okay, so that's just pretty much repeating. So basically, we got an issue that I don't know what it is. Huh. I've already moved timing around a couple degrees, thinking maybe that was it. But it doesn't seem to make any kind of impact. So, well, phew. I think I'm out of time right this second. I've got a stack of cars to get done. So I'll see if I have an epiphany while doing those on things to check and try, and maybe strap this thing back down after those are done and see what's what, see if I come up with a solution. Bummer. Bummer, bummer. Okay. Alright, well, that's it. Okay, had an idea. Like I said earlier in the video, we dynoed this camshaft last time, pretty sure solely on methanol. So, pulled the race gas out real fast, put methanol back in just to try to get a back-to-back sample of this camshaft with methanol versus race gas. Let's see if we find our power. That's so spicy. Okay, well that makes me feel a lot better in some ways. One way I'm like, well damn, we put this camshaft in here for her absolute dud. 626 horsepower. We picked up well over 100 wheel horsepower by putting it back on methanol. Man, I really hope this thing runs hard with this camshaft in it with boost. I'm gonna pop out of the car, I'm gonna show you this graph. All right, come closer for another look. Red is the dyno run we just did on methanol. Real rough adjustment, let the Holly kind of guess at our pounds per hour just by switching fuel types. I haven't even gotten a log pulled out of it yet because why? Because we're not going to be making many adjustments on this file. And yeah, there's the power. So last time we were on methanol with this camshaft, it made blue. I mean, the motor was probably just a little weak then. On that run there, obviously a lot better. Turbo camshaft on race gas, blower camshaft on race gas. All right, let's, I don't even know if I want to look at these numbers right now. Okay, so the goal with the camshaft swap was to get more top end power. And as we can see, we are trending to do that. Which, I mean, this motor on boost lives over 6,500 RPMs. It lives over here. It doesn't really come down here unless we're doing a burnout. I mean, that's the only time it's down here. We are missing a significant amount of torque, 80 foot-pounds of torque, you know, 70 or 80-ish, 70, 80-ish horsepower. I mean, it's not looking good there. But in the zone that we want it, it is trending the right direction. I'm gonna hang on to that. It is trending the right direction. Please don't let me down, little guy. Don't let me down. Oh, man. I can't believe methanol made that big of a difference. That's really got me wondering now. You know, I've got this drum of Pro E112, and I wonder if it would still ignite at our measured intake air temps of, you know, -10, -15 degrees Fahrenheit. You ask, you know, the Googles, and it says methanol no longer combusts below like 45 to 50 degrees, which was pretty much on point for us. That's when we started having issues. And E85 is at 0. But maybe there's something to be had with methanol cutting it. I mean, I've seen some people doing that. I mean, blending methanol with race gas. I mean, we didn't get all the race gas out right there. We probably still had 2-3 quarts of race gas in the system with about 4 to 5 quarts of methanol. So it's not like it was a pure switchover. I mean, I'm gonna put it back on race gas. We know for a fact race gas works. We know for a fact we're not getting any test passes at this race. So we just have to hope on the fact that the car shows up on race day, shows up on boost. So, all right, well, we're gonna get our long day over with. I'm feeling a lot better because obviously this motor's not a dud. It is making some power. It just needs the right combination of stuff for what we're doing at the time. That being methanol, apparently.